Alright, guys. I'm pretty sure that I have got this workaround figured out to where I can record tutorials and have Edison recording my Fruity Loops audio so that I have good crisp audio for you guys to hear, and Audacity recording my microphone so that my voice isn't like to you guys, and Cam Studio recording the screen, obviously. It's a bit of a workaround. I have to have Fruity Loops running on my stock sound card that came with my laptop, or that's in my laptop, and I have to have Audacity recording from my Lexicon Omega because that's where my mic can run into. I can't plug a mic into my my laptop. I have the little 1/8 inch mic jack, but I don't have any mics that have that that jack. I have real mics. So this should be working. Today is going to be the overview of 3xOSC for the complete novice. This is for someone who knows absolutely nothing about synthesizers or how they work or how to make that sound that they heard from this really cool song that they like, and they want to do a remix of it or some shit, and they'll come to your video and, how did you make that sound? And pretty much to help people stop using presets because presets suck. So, alright, I'll tell you up front, 3xOSC, you're not going to get the most amazing sounds out of it, but it's perfect for learning on. So when you open it up, you're going to have this sound, and this is at a C5. Alright, sorry about that. My headphone jack on my laptop is completely and totally fucked over. So this is so I can hear what I'm doing in Fruity Loops. I have to run off my head jack on my PC because I'm using my PC sound card. I'm just using Edison. This is to record my Fruity Loops sound, so we don't need that up anymore. All we need is this right here, 3xOSC. So what is all this? Well, you have sections on every synthesizer, and the first thing you need to look for is where is the sound coming from. And the answer to that is your oscillators. In 3xOSC you have 3 of them. You have oscillators 1, 2, and 3. Maybe that's why they named it, You have your standard options for the waveforms. You have your sine, triangle, saw wave, sawtooth, and a mix between sawtooth and square. Turn the volume down on those two. A single sine wave at C5 sounds like this. Then you have your triangle. Then your square, saw, and the rounded square saw thing. You also have white noise, and you have this question mark. And if you press the question mark, you get this dialog box, and you can open up a wave file. According to this list here, it looks like maybe wave, AIF, MP3, OGG, recycle loop file, FT2 instrument file, drum synth file, sim synth file, speech synthesis file, and pretty sure that's it. I've never used that before, but I'm pretty sure that if you were to load in some complex waveform that doesn't come with 3xOSC, you could get a lot more complex sounds out of this basic synth. So you have over here you have your pan for oscillator 1, and coarse tuning for oscillator 1, and fine tuning for oscillator 1, and you have that duplicated on oscillators 2 and 3. The only difference between the oscillators is that 2 and 3 have a volume knob. There's no volume knob on oscillator 1 because you always have to have one oscillator running, and they default that to oscillator 1, and they don't allow you to turn it down. Sorry, I had to take a drink. I'm talking fast because last couple times I've tried to record this, it's been too long, and I kind of want to get this up on YouTube. So, You have tabs. What the hell are these? Well, you have your sample tab and shape properties. This is more for like if you were to drag in a sample, but you wouldn't be using 3x for that anyway. So don't worry about that right now. Instrument properties is where your envelopes are, your LFOs, your filter. You have pan, volume, cut, resonance, pitch tabs, or sub-tabs really. I'm going to go over all this in more detail later. Like I said, this is just kind of like what is where and what the hell is is that. So these are your envelopes up here. This is your LFO. This is your filter. You have a couple filter types: fast, slow pass, band pass, high pass, band stop, low pass times 2, and SW or SFV. Yeah. Wow, maybe I'm dyslexic. SVF is state variable filter, and this is state variable filter low pass, and this is state variable filter low pass times 2. All that means is the regular low pass would be a 12 dB low pass, times 2 would be 24 dB low pass, and that goes for the state variable filter ones too. So you can change those through the tabs. Miscellaneous, you have your levels adjustment, your cut options here, polyphony options, and your root note. Polyphony is if I set that to 1 and I press a C5 and then I press another key, and in this case it'll be a C6. I'm still holding the C5 on my USB keyboard here, but the C6 was the only note playing. Why? Because I set the polyphony to 1. That means only one note can play at a time. So, alright, sorry, my headphone thing again. So I normally leave that to that unless I have a specific thing that I'm trying to do. Porta and the slide knob go together. Pretty much this whole section goes together. That's why it's grouped together. Synthesizers are usually laid out, no matter how complex their layout may look, they're generally all pretty close to the same thing. They try to group things that go together in the same area, so that way you're not doing porta mono over here and your slide knob's way over here type shit. It's usually pretty close to each other. So you have porta and your slide knob that go together. So porta means if I press this note and then press this note, it slides between them. And then the slide knob, the higher the slide is, the longer it'll take to slide between them. Mono means if I hold the C5 down, well, any note, I'm just going to use C5, and then I'm going to press another key while holding C5. You see that I'm holding C5, but only one note is playing at a time. That's why it's called mono. It means one note, monophonic. So if I hit porta mono at the same time, that means it will slide between the notes if I do the holding thing, or if I just press this key and then just press this key. So you can do some crazy shit there. You could have porta. See, porta, if I press 3 keys at once, those weren't the best chords. They probably weren't even in key. But porta allows you to hit more than one. Mono allows you just one. You can have them both going. You can combine that with polyphony settings to get complex shit. You have your function tab, and this is echo, delay, arpeggiator, your gate, and keyboard tracking. That's it for this tutorial. Next time I'm going to go in depth over the plugin tab, how you combine different waves to get different sounds.